Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started. We don't have a quorum yet, but we'll start as a subcommittee. First, we'll do some housekeeping items. Welcome to the Assembly Local Government Committee hearing. I would like to remind the public that for these and future hearings, testimony will be in person as we're no longer using moderated telephone service. We also accept written testimony through the position letter portal on the committee's website. I would also like to go over our ground rules for appropriate conduct. The Assembly has experienced a number of disruptions to committee and floor proceedings in the last few years. Conduct that disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the hearing is prohibited. Such conduct may include talking or making loud noises from the audience, uttering loud, threatening, or abusive language, speaking longer than the allotted time, extended discussions on matters not related to the subject of the hearing or bill, and any other disruptive acts. To address any disruptive acts, I will take the following steps. If an individual disrupts our hearing process, I will direct them to stop and warn them that continued disruptions may result in removal from the Capitol building. I will also document on the record the individual involved and the nature of the disruptive conduct. I may temporarily recess the hearing. If the conduct does not stop, I will request the assistance of the sergeants in escorting the individual from the Capitol hearing. We do have 5 items on the agenda this afternoon. 2 of these items are proposed for consent. Item 3, SB-1169 by Senator Stern. Item 5, SB-1405 by Senator Schwab. In addition, Senator Wiener will be presenting item 4, SB-1251 on behalf of Senator Stern. We will hear all other bills in the order shown on our agenda unless otherwise noted. We will take up to 2 primary witnesses in support and up to 2 primary witnesses in opposition. These witnesses will have 3 minutes each to provide their testimony. All subsequent witnesses should state their name, their organization, and their position on the bill only. As I said earlier, we do not have a quorum and we don't have any senators yet be present. So if the senators and staff are hearing, can you please ask your senators to come to local government, room 447, so that we can start hearing bills on the agenda. Thank you. We'll wait a few minutes. Thank you, Senator Caballero. You're ready to go? We're ready. And again, we are proceeding as a subcommittee since we don't have a quorum yet. Okay.
For your help on this bill, and I'll be accepting the committee amendment. From the early 1950s until the state dissolved them in 2011, redevelopment agencies, or RDAs, used property tax increment financing to pay for economic development projects in cities and counties to remove blight and in deteriorating neighborhoods. After the demise of RDAs, local officials sought other methods to raise the capital needed to fund critical public infrastructure projects. In response, the legislature enacted SB-1405 to allow local officials to create enhanced infrastructure financing districts, or EIFDs, to finance public capital facility projects or other specified projects in order to benefit districts or surrounding communities that result in a useful life of 15 years or more. In other words, it's got to be, it can't be temporary. Similarly, SB 852, enacted 8 years later, used this model to create climate resilience districts, or CRDs, to raise revenue, plan climate mitigation or adaptation projects with a similar funding mechanism. EIFDs and CRDs are vital tax increment financing tools to fund and finance public facilities or projects of community-wide significance. Unfortunately, some cities and counties have found these tools with limited staff and resources, and forming these districts require duplicative processes and are cumbersome to initiate. SB 1140 will reform EIFD and CRD law to streamline and create efficiencies in the formation process and expand the types of projects these tools can finance, all while protecting public input and participation. It will reduce the mandatory meetings from 4 to 3. It broadens the alternative mailing and notification methods. And it eliminates the mandate and instead enables the forming district to electronically submit its resolution of intention to establish the district to other taxing entities, eliminating the need for mailing. Furthermore, it removes the requirement to mail annual report notices via first-class mail. Finally, the bill specifies that notices shall be published in English and all other languages spoken by at least 20% of the population or more. SB 1140 expands the type of projects that EIFDs and CRDs can finance to include projects to improve air quality, and it has no opposition. With me to testify and answer any questions is Gurbak Sahota, President and CEO of California Association for Local Economic Development and Executive Director of California Academy for Economic Development, and Christina Solberg, Community Relations Senior Manager from Central Valley Community Foundation.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. I'm Christina Solberg, Community Relations Senior Manager at the Central Valley Community Foundation. And on behalf of the foundation, I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak in strong support of SB 1140. We believe that if this legislation is passed, it will motivate counties and cities to work together to raise public and private capital for large-scale infrastructure projects. The Central Valley Community Foundation is the Jobs First convener for our 4-county region, which includes Fresno, Madera, Kings, and Tulare counties, and resourcing California's climate economy is central to our plan. We know that the state cannot reach its climate goals without working with us in the Central Valley, and we know that large-scale clean energy infrastructure is needed in our region in order for us to reach the state's climate and clean energy goals. That means billions of dollars will need to be invested in our region, and big-time investment requires a regional strategy and official partnerships across city and county lines. As you know, forming partnerships is hard when working with different bodies of government, but this bill will streamline the process so that local leaders are motivated to partner with one another. This legislation is ultimately about improving the lives of the people who live in the Central Valley. We are finally in a moment in time where our region has the opportunity to harness big investment that could impact the next generation in a way that gives all people access to opportunity from ensuring access to quality, good-paying jobs to improving air quality for all. This bill will help to unlock money for a region that's ready for large-scale investment. For these reasons, the Central Valley Community Foundation is pleased to support SB 1140. Thank you for your consideration.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. My name is Gurbak Sahota. I'm the President and CEO of the California Association for Local Economic Development. We represent over 800 local economic developers that are helping communities thrive and businesses thrive in California, and that equates to about 300 jurisdictions across the state. We're really pleased to be here to support Senate Bill 1140 because communities more and more are looking to EIFDs as potential tools to help them address their infrastructure needs. As the senator said, the formation process is both cumbersome, it's complex, and it's costly. And we believe that streamlining is not only appropriate, we're really excited to see that she's been able to maintain the transparency requirements that I think are important to everybody, not just the public, but you all as well. We think by streamlining the bill, by streamlining the formation process, the bill will also make the tool more available to smaller communities that do have a staff capacity issue. So we're here in strong support, and we hope that you support the bill as well today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else in the room that wants to add on in support? Seeing no one, any primary witnesses in opposition of measure? Seeing nobody, I'll take it back to the committee members. Any questions, comments on what's in front of us? Mr. Saley.
Thank you. What is what kind of projects are climate resilient districts do? Like what does that mean? What will they do?
So some of the discussions that I've heard are projects that provide an opportunity to, for example, in Sonoma County, they have a road that is that has never really had problems with flooding, except for very periodically. And with sea level rise, the road will be underwater. And there are a number of roadways in that part of the state that were built across waterways. And there's going to be a need regionally to come up with a tax increment to raise the road, because it is the major route, the major transportation route for people working on one side of the waterway going to the other. So that's, for example, is one project that
I see.
for which you would want to have a taxing entity to be able to do it.
Okay, and then my understanding, I'm just reading the legislative history here, was that prior to 2019, these districts required 55% voter approval to issue bonds, but that was replaced by AB 116, which replaced voter approval with a protest process. And that's what we're talking about today is reducing the protest process or the meetings to form the district from 4 down to 2, correct?
No, we don't change the voting process at all in this bill.
Not the voting process, but the number of meetings
Oh.
it would take before it's formed for the community to
Correct.
basically protest if they wanted to.
It's getting rid of one of the meetings.
Two of the meetings. So we're
One.
cutting it from 4 to 2.
No, actually, my original
Oh.
bill was from 4 to 2, but I was forced to take an
Oh.
amendment, so it's actually just one.
It's one. Oh, is that one of the amendments?
The amendment in the Senate was to eliminate one of the meetings in Senate local government.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, to put back one of the meetings. In other words,
So-
my original bill was 4 to 2, and the Senate amendment I accepted was 4 to 3.
So the current text of the bill is
4 to
3
3.
meeting? Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm just curious, if the taxpayer protection initiative is allowed on the ballot and passes, would that impact these districts as well? I don't know the answer. I'm just asking.
Yeah, my guess is it would. It would impact. And my understanding of it is that it would impact any. Actually, I'm not sure. In terms of bonds, I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I have to say
I
I don't know.
appreciate you answering my questions.
Thank you.
Senator.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Before we go to more questions or comments from committee members, we reach a quorum. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Correa,
Present?
Correa present. Waldron. Waldron present. Bailey. Bailey
Here.
present.
Sorry.
Haney. Haney present. Calvert. Here. Calvert present. Pacheco. Ramos. Here. Ramos present. Ward. Present. Ward present. Wilson.
Here.
Wilson present.
We have a quorum. For those members who are on item number 2, we're on questions or comments for the senator. We got a motion. Is there a second?
Thank you.
We have a first and a second. Would you like to close, Senator Caballero?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Please call the roll. Well, before you call the roll, I'm sorry, I forgot one step. I did hear you say that you accept the committee amendments, right? At
That
the
is
beginning,
correct.
yeah. Well, thank you for presenting your bill today. I am supportive of your efforts to improve these infrastructure development tools for our local agencies with the amendments. I will be supporting your bill today. Now, the motion is due pass with amendments, so please call the roll.
Thank you.
Motion is due pass as amended to the floor. Correa.
Aye.
Correa, aye. Waldron.
Aye.
Waldron, aye. Asaley.
No.
Asaley, no. Haney. Haney, aye. Calra. Calra, aye. Pacheco. Ramos. Ramos,
Thank you.
aye. Ward. Ward, aye. Wilson.
Aye.
Wilson, aye. The vote is 7-1.
The vote is 7-1. The bill is out. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're going to pause for a little bit until we get other presenters to come in. Not seeing any other bills. We can do a consent item that we have on the agenda. Can I get a motion for consent? Second. Well, first and second, please call the roll.
consent items are SB 1169, do pass, recommended consent to the floor. The second item is SB 1405, which is recommended do pass, recommended consent to the floor. Carrillo?
Aye.
Carrillo, aye. Waldron?
Aye.
Waldron, aye. Asali?
Aye.
Asali, aye. Haney? Haney, aye. Calra? Calra, aye. Pacheco? Ramos? Ramos, aye. Ward? Ward, aye. Wilson? Wilson, aye. It's 8-0.
Those two bills are out at 8-0. And we can get Senator Stern and Senator Wiener. Please head up to local government, room 447. With that, we'll pause for a little bit until we get someone to come up to local government. Thank you.